Greetings, life forms, wherever you're receiving us. This is Justin.
And man?
And broadcasting live from Jay's house, it's me, Landon Doan. Hi,
He's
everybody.
back, y'all. Wah, wah, wah,
That
wah. I tried to sell your microphone on eBay because I didn't think I would need it anymore. It's a good thing nobody bid on it.
Yeah, well, as everybody is very well aware, online sales, a thing of the past.
Yep.
We're going strictly brick and mortar, everybody.
That's right.
J.C. Penney's is coming back strong.
I can't wait to see another Blockbuster. It's been years. I'm ready for him to be back. And
Yep.
Matt, you could probably have your old job back if you wanted it.
Yep.
We'll set it up right next to a Gimbals. Remember that?
Yes.
Gimbals?
And a Borders.
And Circuit City.
In Circuit
All
City.
those things. Circuit City. where
H.H.
service is
Gregg.
State of the art. Radio Shack. Are those still around?
I don't know. Somebody said they were, and then everybody says they're defunct, and I'm like, but they keep showing up in feeds and stuff that I have. I'm like, Radio Shack has this. I'm like, where?
It might be one of those things where it's like
Des Moines?
the chain itself is gone, but there's like one independent
The spirit.
operator. It's like, yeah,
They never gave up.
Exactly. Yeah, we're coming back, guys.
We still got this stock of cassette players. We're going to keep on selling them. Walkman. You know?
Nobody sells RC cars like Radio Shack.
That's right. Do you need a soldering iron? We have 7. Yeah. There's still a Blockbuster in Alaska, from what I understand.
Oh.
I know
So
they're not owned by anyone, but
they haven't gotten the Netflix or Hulu yet?
It is
no,
Alaska,
but
so.
they have a hilarious Twitter. The dumpster is not a bathroom, according to their Twitter.
Dang, Alaska.
It depends on how many drinks you've had and what time it
Bingo!
That
It
is
depends
true.
on how disappointed I am with your selection.
Or just life in general.
Life in general.
is. Well, it is. Is it still September? Yeah, it's September 17th.
Sure.
2017. This is Nerd News Cafe episode 63.
On the Gregorian calendar.
Right?
Sure, we'll go with it. You said it so confidently, I believe it.
Who knows? Let's just throw out
I
numbers.
literally believe anything he says in that voice.
This is Nerd News Cafe number episode 7,002.5.
Perfect. We're going to start throwing out the random numbers. Right. And then I can never be wrong.
Yep, we're going to be like comics. We're just going to start constantly renumbering ourselves. This
Oh,
is
that's
the
great.
first episode, you guys.
We could do a rebirth
Congratulations. Yeah.
every 10 comics.
Sounds good to me.
Who wants to be evil? Bingo.
Yeah.
Alternate
Landon will be
universe
evil.
Landon.
This is an audio podcast, so raising your hand doesn't really well.
Or is it? It's part of our reboot, you guys.
Oh, that's true. We went odd video.
Well, we've got a lot of interesting things, interesting little tidbits and morsels to get to today. Before we do that, let's go around the table and see if we have anything interesting to drink. Matt, is that a fake beer today?
This is a fake beer. You know what? You know what's funny when you say commit to the bit and someone keeps calling it a fake beer? That is not committing to the bit.
No, he is committing to a certain bit, just not the one you want to commit to.
This is true.
No, you're back to the old seltzer water, huh? Polar, cran
Cranberry lime.
Cran lime. So good. Oh, my.
Oh, wow.
You
Wow,
know-
and I thought I was the unprofessional one on this podcast.
You know, typically I do try to edit out the burps. I can't edit that one out because you were speaking, and that would be disrespectful.
That's why I put words in it.
I hadn't thought of that. That's a good way to get around
Bingo.
the edit.
If you could say words with farts, it works the same way. But man, I would love to meet that person. Not
Would you, though?
I don't want to shake their hand or be
No.
near them, but I would like to meet them
I don't want to be in the room.
through a glass.
There you
Yeah.
go. Like on a delay.
Do you have any banaka?
Yeah, we've seen that movie.
Yep.
They got a
Banaka.
sequel, too.
It did.
How about you, Landon? What are you drinking?
I do not have anything interesting, but it's a Dr. Pepper. So
It's got a playoff Dr. Pepper. It looks like a football. You
Oh,
could
do we
throw
have
it
to talk about football anymore? Because
We
that's
can talk about
honestly why I'm
professional.
not drinking today. Because
because you drank it all yesterday.
yes, because a certain coach at the University of Tennessee inspired me to drink every drop of alcohol in the neyborhood. So, Butch Jones,
You're knocking on neighbors' houses. Bring it out.
Yep.
You know why.
they're like, Landon is clearly not sober, or he's way too sober to watch this game.
He goes around with a little plastic crate.
Like trick or treat.
Bring out your drinks.
That technically is my favorite type of trick or
That
treat.
would be a good trick or treat, actually.
I mean, it seems like
Yeah.
adults have already co-opted Halloween anyway. I mean, people our age, we love to dress up and go to Halloween parties. Why can't we
All
get
the time.
adult trick-or-treating going? Just go down to the liquor store,
like where his
get
head's at.
airplane bottles, and boom, there
Why
you
not?
go.
I
Have
like
a
that.
neighborhood party.
I'm for it. It's just a reason to cosplay around the neighborhood.
Exactly.
That
And let's
sounds
be
fun.
honest, this day, we really don't need an excuse to wear a costume or drink. Generally, when you
Facts.
do both of those things, you're at Dragon Con, but you can bring the Dragon Con
That's right.
experience home.
Well,
How can we market that? Yeah, go ahead. I'm
I
gonna
think
think
we
on
did
it.
just market it.
Well, you
Trademark
did.
Ricky Bobby. There we
Yeah,
go.
but when would you put it?
Outside,
Well, yeah, at someone's house. But I mean, like, what time of year?
Halloween.
You want to do it Halloween?
On Halloween?
Do it the
So
day
take it
after.
right away from the children.
Absolutely.
Let's
Screw
do it a
the
week.
kids.
Let's
That's what
do it
I'm
a week
saying.
before Halloween. Oh no, a week after Halloween because that's New Year's. Christmas is like, oh God, and then you get New Year's, you can drink and forget about it.
Oh, I see.
So it works the same way. Halloween, damn it, and then
No,
drink
I
and
like
forget
my
about it.
idea of taking Halloween away from the kids. Let's go with that.
Nah, I got kids.
See, I don't.
It gives me a reason to make them wear horrible things and then make jokes about it. How's a mask working out for you?
It is fun when the kids are small. They get no choice what costume you put them in. That is pretty fun. That's
And
a
you
fun
get all the
aspect of
candy.
Halloween.
You reap all the benefits.
You reap all the benefits. That's true.
I will be
you guys
reaping
are
the-
starting to sell me on having kids. So
You can dress up dogs.
I can make no. I will give away my dog before I put it in a costume. Do not be one of those people.
Well,
Yeah, what are you drinking?
I have simply lemonade with blueberry. Actually,
Blueberry.
I've brought a previous flavor to the podcast. I think it was raspberry, maybe. So
Can I
I've
make an
never-
observation?
Sure.
It's lemonade with blueberry, and yet it's still red.
Yeah, I was going
Do
to
you
say
want to
that.
make some thought process or some choices at the grocery store?
Well, you see, blueberry juice is red. It's red colored.
But they're blue.
They're blue.
They're not really blue. But
they're
nothing
called
is really the
blueberries.
color that they say it is. It's like Iceland and Greenland. They're the opposites.
That was because the Vikings didn't want people in
I
Iceland.
know, but
And we've all seen Mighty Ducks too. We know that line.
Yeah.
Come
like,
on.
well, I was going to go the direction of, are white people really white? Are black people really black?
Let's not do that. Let's just back up from
I was
that
about to say, you're
thought.
talking about editing. That's going to be one of those moments. Just saying right now.
Those color words do not describe what
Edit
colors
me
we
right
actually
out of
are.
this podcast.
Yeah, my name is Gunner, by the way.
Gunner. Oh my God. That's twice you made that joke this
I
weekend.
have, yeah.
I really like that joke too.
Thank you. I appreciate that. That was one I got from my old boss. Shout out to Philbio.
Gunner.
Just quickly, has anyone seen it yet?
I have not. Still kind of want to, but I'm what you call a so.
Where? Well, first of all, I wondered if we were going to go back to the bit, but we didn't.
I started to. I was like, commit to the bit.
But we didn't do it. That's okay, but I was just going to mention that I think we're in the minority because it has made worldwide $371 million.
Yeah, I got to get my brother-in-law is like, when are we going? I'm like, as soon as I get a break in my job. Well, guess what happened to my job? It exploded.
Oh boy.
Yeah, it's not fun. Way too much work.
Yeah, I'm
like,
sorry to hear
I
that.
need three of me. Like, if the movie Multiplicity was real, I would wear that machine out.
Would you be married to Andy McDowell in this
God,
movie
that's another
reality?
Andy McDowell. You know what, though? He was a plain guy in that. He was a very plain guy, so he had a plain wife.
But
But he was Batman.
I did a little Andy McDowell
was.
research this week.
Oh, God.
And I
Is that
found
worth your
and I
time?
found out. So for me, this is why I'm still trying to decide whether or not she was supposed to be hot.
I think this is an entire podcast. I think you have found your calling. Is Andy McDowell hot? And that is the
That
name
sounds
of
like
it.
actually a really good podcast. I might run with that. But anyway, I found out that she stands 5'8", 5
Okay.
foot 8 inches tall.
Okay.
Now me preferentially prefer women in the 5'5" to 5'8" range.
Okay.
So this puts her in my hot category. So from a height perspective, Andy McDowell's hot.
So you're gonna like break her down into categories you do find her hot to try to get her into the level
Yeah.
of hotness for you.
It's going to be, we're going to make a list. It's like a pro cons list and say, so from a height perspective, one notch in the hot.
Now we know I don't know names, so let's go ahead and attribute this to the woman who played the wife in National Lampoon movies.
Yeah.
I feel like her and Andy McDowell are the same type of
Beverly
D'Angelo.
D'Angelo.
exactly. I don't know.
Beverly D'Angelo was pretty hot.
Yeah, I would give it up for her.
Give it up.
I'm giving her a shout out. What's up?
She's a notch above Andy McDowell.
So to me, they're the same person.
Hold on. Going back to the whole Andy McDowell. People that you date, they have to be within 5'5" and 5'8". So you're like a roller coaster to date or something? Like
Between this height and this height. It's almost like a kiddie ride. Wait a minute. That doesn't sound right. I want to retract that immediately.
Edit.
I am definitely Gunner today.
No, the reason I said that is because observationally in the past, I've realized that women I'm attractive to happen to be in this range.
And then, of course, before they get in line,
I
they
said-
have to go by a locker and lock up their phone and any bags
Absolutely.
or anything before they get on the ride.
That's right. And then strap in.
That's not a bad system. I mean,
And you
single
better not-
guys out there, you might want to incorporate that.
No
You know,
heart.
when you put
Get
it that way.
bracelets.
No heart problems. No pregnant women.
And no Uggos.
Oh, no Ogos, right.
Yeah.
The shoes?
Yeah, shoes are required.
No.
He's
Uggos,
some
isn't that a
weird
shoe?
stuff.
Oh, wait, no. Sorry.
Do we have anything to talk about? Like,
Yeah,
all right,
sure.
cool.
No.
We have a few things to talk about.
No. We have no content.
No.
This isn't like last week where really nothing had happened.
Yeah, because stuff did actually
Stuff
happen.
happened this week. We got some good stuff. First, this is one, Landon. I know you were all over this one, and I want to get your immediate reaction right after I say the headline. This was a comicbooknews.com headline from Thursday, September 14th. Nightwing movie will be effing badass, teases director.
Oh, yeah. Hell yeah. I mean, it's like, whether or not this movie is going to actually end up being good, we'll see one way or another. But the fact that the director has already come out and made this big proclamation and what this movie could be, that excites me. Like, honestly, this is the biggest property in the DC movie universe, in the Batman movie universe that I want to see. I want this Nightwing movie more than anything else.
I feel like it's a very untouched property.
It really is.
Why, though? I mean, do you have any idea why it's not really been used? Is it just because it has it's got to have a real thick comic lore. I mean,
back in the 90s, my buddy Hunter, who has appeared on this podcast and Game of Thrones Talk, AK Got Talk, back when we were growing up, like, this was his book. Every month he read it, and he would let me read it. And like, there are some really good stories told in Nightwing, and it's like, maybe the reason it does feel like an untouched property is because if you're going to do a movie in the Batman universe, are you going to choose Nightwing, the old sidekick? Are you going to choose the Batman?
But when I think of Nightwing, I don't think of him as a sidekick. I think he's into his own as Nightwing. Like,
well, definitely at this point, but I mean, like, still to a lot of people, he's always going to be the first Robin.
That's true. I mean, yeah, true. I guess so. And I guess that's why they're like, who wants to make sidekick movies? But
I mean, like, the fact that the director, what is his name?
His name is Chris McKay.
Yeah, guy who did Lego movies, right?
Yeah.
Or the Lego movie.
The Lego Batman
Lego
movie.
Batman. Look at me. I got it right on the third try.
So he's done a comedy and a big stop-motion production. What else has he done?
You would like to know Chris McKay's filmography?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
We'll
I
get to
would.
that, but Landon, finish your thought
Yes.
while you're...
Yeah,
Stall.
but I mean, just the fact that the director is coming out this verbose and like swinging for the fences from word go. I love that fact. And it really feels very different from everything else going on in the DC movie universe because it's always turmoil. Like, as the Bat flick turns, Zack Snyder's off the project. Here comes Joss Whedon. Oh, we're canceling the Flash movie. Well, the Flash movie's back on. We don't know if Aquaman's going to happen. It's like, it's just nothing but constant, like, it could work.
Maybe.
And then on the flip side, here comes Nightwing. It's like, again, we don't know if this is going to be good or if it's going to be effing badass like he's claiming. But the fact that he's starting out this hot, I love it.
I got to tell you, I like his background. So the reason we don't know that much about him is because the Lego Batman movie was his first movie.
Okay.
But here's some other things that he's been involved with. Moral Oral.
Oh, I love me
that?
some Moral Oral.
He directed 19 episodes. Titan Maximum, he directed 9. He's involved with the Robot Chicken Star Wars Episode 3 TV movie.
Okay.
And Robot Chicken TV series, he's directed 41 episodes and co-directed 3. So he
has the nerd pedigree.
He does.
No, like, he knows the right people to talk to about what he needs to say or do.
But at the same time, it's like, only one really big movie? It's like
one movie,
like,
yeah.
Don't
and
get me
not
wrong.
live action.
Not live action at that. It's like I said, I love Moral Oral. That's one of those underrated shows on Adult Swim. It's like, I love Robot Chicken. All the Star Wars ones are really funny, but at the same time, movie.
Nothing in here's live action that he's done.
Never directed anyone personally.
Wait, straight up nothing live action.
No,
it's all voice action.
Yeah, it's all voice. It's animation.
Is he? Does he have any writing credits?
Now here's what's even more interesting about that. Let me answer your question, and then I'll go into what I was going to get to.
No,
so as a writer,
I don't want to hear what you say.
Yeah, you want to hear it. He wrote one episode of Moral Oral, and he wrote something called 2 Weeks, 1 Year. Which, let me look at this because this might be
2 girls, 1.
I was going to say, as long as it isn't that, I'm okay with it.
2 girls, 1. Actually, this is a live action movie from 2002. So I retract my previous statement, but no one's ever heard of this.
Yeah,
but
he has written some things. So okay.
We've probably got the biggest 2 weeks, 1 year fan listening to this podcast going crazy on me right now.
Yeah.
I apologize.
You've never heard of it? Are you stupid?
I want to apologize directly to you, one person.
Personally. You 1%er.
But I love this. So in this article that I was referencing, Chris McKay goes on a F-bomb laden tirade about how amazing this movie's going to be.
My type of director.
But the cool thing is that he's really getting into. He said he doesn't want to do a lot of CG. He wants it all to be real.
Practical effects
real
are coming
stunt
back,
work.
man. Mm-hmm. They're really coming back.
But he said the guy that they cast, because they don't have a Nightwing yet, the guy they cast is probably going to have to go to like a boot camp. He said because he wants him to do everything.
That's
okay.
fine.
Well, and I really don't think that's asking too much, especially when you look across the aisle and you see what Chris Hemsworth and Chris Pratt and Chris everybody
Pine.
in Marvel. Everybody named
they could get Chris Pine.
Chris Evans.
Yeah,
Chris Evans.
So it's like all these people get like jacked. They turn into like action.
Yeah, they
figures.
do.
So I had two questions to put you on the spot. What's your top Chris for this? And then if it couldn't be a Chris, who would be your top person for this?
Oh yeah, who do we want to play Nightwing? Fantasy cast.
Ooh, fantasy cast.
Or do we want to hold this over till Thursday, guys?
We could hold on to it.
Yeah, let's
but
hold it over till Thursday.
You want to make it a Thursday poll?
We'll make it a Thursday.
That's cool.
Let's do that.
Yeah.
All right. Let's jump from DC to Marvel. Here's an article from GeekTyrant.com from 3 days ago. Stan Lee has optimistic hopes for X-Men film rights returning to Marvel. And he says, this is a quote from him, sooner or later, they're going... Sorry, you do the better
No, I was
Stan
about to say,
Lee.
make Landon read that quote.
Can you read it from there? You should totally read that.
Sooner or later, God, no, I can't do it. I made Spider-Man. Sooner or later, they're going to get the rights back to all our characters. They're working on it. I made the f***ing Fantastic Four. I'm going Little Nicky now.
He did. He said, don't worry about it. You'll get more Marvel superheroes than you'll have time to look at in the next few years. So,
And I made Spider-Man.
yeah, he made Spider-Man. There's no reason for him to have any kind of a hint that he knows this is going to happen. This is just Stan Lee and the ramblings of a senile
I think
old
he
man.
hopes for it. I can see there is a big problem in Marvel movies in my mind because we are missing the X-Men from everything. The Infinity Wars without freaking the X-Men?
Yeah.
Without any of them. Mm-hmm. Come on, man.
And I mean, yeah, maybe if anybody outside of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, like Inner Circle, would know if it's possible to get the rights back, it would be Stan Lee. But at the same time, it's like, I don't see Fox budging off.
No,
that.
not
like,
on X-Men.
No, and
Fantastic Four, I can see selling wholesale because they just can't do it.
I would be okay with that. Like, serious, like, or if we can't get the Fantastic Four back, can we get Doom back?
Oh, yeah.
Like, I want to see Doctor Doom,
yeah.
and Robert Downey Jr's Tony Stark.
I would
go
be cool with
toe-to-toe.
just getting Magneto over to the other side. I feel like he's such a strong character, and to bring Fassbender over,
Yeah.
that'd be awesome.
But it's just like
Fox ain't giving up.
I'm really hopeful too, Stanley,
Yeah,
but
right.
I'm really hopeful that the Vols are going to somehow win a national championship.
Why don't
In our lifetime.
I was about to say, just have Disney buy Fox. Done.
or Disney
next.
by the SEC.
Oh, that would work too.
Wait, what that was?
I don't know.
No.
All right, let's jump over to games for a minute. GameTyrant.com. This was an article also 3 days ago. Bethesda announces Doom and Wolfenstein 2 for Nintendo Switch, my friends. That's right. We are going to be able to kill Nazis and demons
Nazis.
in the comfort of our own home.
I want my Nazi scalps.
Actually, wherever you want to take it,
I was
because
going
it's
to
on the
say,
Switch.
yeah, you can do it in the comfort of your own home, but the Switch is a
I
portable-
recommend not on a train to or in Germany.
Well, yeah.
Well,
Nazi imagery and Nazi stuff, period, is still a very touchy. We're not going to talk
they're
about
sore
it.
about it.
that's
thing
really
in
interesting.
Germany.
Do you think German people play Doom? I mean, sorry, Wolfenstein. I didn't mean to make the German people out to be demons. Let's add to the list of
Man,
people that
this
I need
is-
to
oh, God,
apologize
we are
to.
so going to get sued for this episode.
No, seriously though.
I think
like,
they're dealing with their own demons.
do you think they play Wolfenstein, or have they ever been exposed to it, or is that one of those things that just, you know?
They might have been exposed to it, but I do know like it's illegal to sell something with a swastika in Germany.
Okay.
So like there might have been like a localized edition released there.
Is that how Hasselhoff got out? He got that tattoo? I got to
They
leave,
let
guys.
him out.
He is huge there. But
He is.
I was kind of surprised. I did not expect the Bethesda announcement for those two games to come for the Switch. It's like we did know, and we got confirmation it's coming this year that that Skyrim is coming out on the Switch.
I feel like this is bigger than Skyrim.
I do too, and like I think it feels bigger because we knew Skyrim was coming, and also Skyrim really feels like a more adult Breath of the Wild.
That's what I was going to say exactly. That's coming November 17th, so we're getting that soon.
But I mean, like last year's Doom, that was my second best game of the year. Like I was blown away by that Doom, so I'm excited to see it come to a new platform, and I really. enjoyed the new Wolfenstein. So I'm curious, and especially the trailer they put out for Wolfenstein, the new Colossus. Holy crap, that looks amazing. So the fact that it's coming to Nintendo, I like that Nintendo does seem more receptive to bringing in these
adult titles.
Adult titles
Adult
from
titles.
outside publishers.
Yeah.
I like that.
It's a departure from the strategy we saw with the Wii, right?
Though I am curious, graphically, what is it going to look like compared to the the Xbox One and the PlayStation 4?
Right.
I feel like the graphics that are in this article are not
from the Switch.
They are not from the Switch.
No, I don't think so. I think
Though I will say, from a guy who has played a lot of stuff in 720p, there's not a huge difference. I mean, not that you would notice tremendously.
Yeah, I actually saw some kind of technical article this week where they were showing like they blew up a picture and they were showing you the difference in pixels between like different resolutions.
But how far did they have to go?
But you have to blow it up pretty big.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, for the most part, it's not going to like, especially if you're playing in handheld mode or like just mobile mode.
I feel like the handheld mode would probably be a better feel for the game because it would be a tighter graphics and they're not as exposed on there.
It's actually really interesting to kind of think about games like this coming out on the Switch because people who maybe have multiple consoles are going to have to start deciding, is this a game I'd rather get for the Switch because I can take it with me?
And I've seen a lot of people say exactly just that, like listening to podcasts, especially now that it does seem like Nintendo is open to the same third game parties that everybody else is getting. They have straight up said exactly what you said. I could get it on any system, but I'm going to get it on the Switch because you can take it anywhere.
That portability, I think, was I've said it 2 or 3 times, and the Wii U was the failing of that. Everybody thought the Wii U was going to be what the Switch is now. And everybody, I think all that feedback that came back, why can't you just make the game where I can take the controller with me? There you go. I mean, I like the portability.
Why not take the whole console?
Take the whole console.
Nintendo's having a great year. The Switch is killing it.
Go.
Oh, and by the way, Mario Odyssey looks bananas.
It looks so good.
Oh, it looks so good.
Yeah, my son's dying for that.
Me and him both.
Resident Switch player of the house. We spent the weekend in Gatlinburg in a nice cabin. He took his Switch with him, of course, because he could.
Well, and that's the thing. I'm being drug up to by my girlfriend to go visit her parents. For sure I'm taking that Switch.
Yep.
How easy is it to detach the TV one? Like the dock.
The dock. Oh, it's just plugging in an HDMI cable.
HDMI cable, and then it's in there.
Bang bang. Put it
So
in.
actually, the nice thing was
That's cool.
we took the dock with us, and
that's what I was saying.
He had forgotten his HDMI cable. Well, the cable box is connected to the TV with an HDMI cable, plugged right into the
Bang,
HUD.
bang.
Works. No big deal. So I like that too because I was a little worried that the HDMI connection to the Switch was proprietary, and it is not. It's just an HDMI connection.
They've got that weird HDMI cable now. I don't know. It's not HDMI. It's like a dog-eared looking one. Have you seen it? I don't know what it is, but it looks like an HDMI, but not really.
Is that what Xbox uses? Because
that is not what Xbox uses. You can suck my Xbox. How's that?
I'm just messing.
I mean, it's not like we won't have that game. We don't have to port it around.
All right.
Assassinating people thinking about you.
Let's talk about another multiple platform game in Overwatch. So this article...
Not announced for the Switch, by the way.
No, not announced for the Switch.
I don't know that it could handle it.
I don't think it could have.
No. But this was an article from Game Tyrant as well. Headline is Jeff Kaplan says toxic behavior slowing Overwatch development. So this is interesting because this is something that we've talked about previously and how like the toxic community for Friday the 13th caused actual changes to be made to the game so that people, because they were getting so many complaints that people were just miserable playing because of jerks, freaking trolls on the internet. What's the internet made of? Trolls. Yeah. So of
Unlike
course,
the movie,
they find movies are made with trolls too. So they find their way to our video games and they end up ruining our experience. Well, the same kind of thing is happening with Overwatch in that you just. I have to have this conversation frequently with...
What kind of behavior are they really talking about? I mean, can you specifically give like some examples?
Well, I can give...
I didn't read the article, so I'm just really... What's hurting them?
I can give an example. Just like in my personal experience, I was playing as Winston, and it was in the mode where like cooldowns are reduced, and I call it Super Saiyan mode because everybody's just blowing every cooldown and all the supers. And I was playing as Winston, and I went up against... oh crap! What's the sniper who can put people to sleep? Not Widowmaker.
Oh yeah, the other one. I can't.
Oh,
Angela. No, she has.
Sound it out.
She has like kind of a normal name.
Oh, this is going to drive me insane.
Jeffrey.
He's looking it up. Before you look it up, her name
Sandy
is
Bottoms.
Andy McDowell.
Andy McDowell. That's our new for everything.
Anna?
What is it?
Is it Anna?
Maybe Anna. I'm thinking it's an A name.
It is Anna. All
Anna.
right, yeah, so I'm playing as Winston, go up against an Anna, and Anna has an ability where it's a sleep dart.
Yep.
Puts you to sleep, can't do anything.
She tranked you?
Yeah.
Tranked Winston.
Tranked a big giant monkey.
Did you feel a little bit like Harambe?
Harambe.
Oh, never forget, clearly.
This was a little
Definitely
reminiscent of Harambe. Anyway, sorry.
Edit all that out.
Absolutely.
But so Anna just continues to chain this trank dart on me to the point where it's like, I can't move. I can't do anything. So I put my controller down. It's like, all right, you gamer, you win this round. And the problem is, on the console, there is no report version. They're like, I can't open a menu and report this player. The worst I can do is like block them on PlayStation Network so I don't play them again. So in that experience, for me, that really pissed me off. And I walked away from the game for a couple weeks.
Yeah.
So it's like, I am curious what Kaplan and for that matter,
What
Blizzard
they're referring to specifically.
are referring to specifically, because it's
Yeah.
like, I can't believe it's taken them this long to finally get around to a report feature on the console, something they've had from day one on PC.
Yeah. Well, basically, though, so here's an article, here's a quote from Kaplan himself. It says, "The rising tide of toxicity.
Toxicity?
Toxicity.
Why is that word so hard? Toxicity.
Stroking out.
Toxicity.
All right, from the top.
The rising tide of toxicity. Is that how you say that word?
Toxicity.
I think he had whiskey in that juice.
I didn't have whiskey in the juice.
Damn, I want some. No.
The rising tide of toxicity or bad behavior in the game versus what we are, or what
Blizzard.
Do you want me to do my Stanley voice again?
read.
Left
This
or
is the
right,
last
buddy?
time. Last time. The rising tide of toxicity or bad behavior in the game versus what are we, Blizzard, going to do about it, and what are we as a community together going to do about it. The bad behavior is not just ruining the experience for one another, but bad behavior is actually making the game progress at a much slower rate. And it says that he goes on to say that the developers spend more time handling bad behavior and responding to the reporting system, the current reporting system, whether or not claims are valid. And it keeps them from developing things like new characters, maps, and, events and things like that. So, it's just like, basically, I just felt like this is a really appropriate article because it really is kind of feeding off everything we've been talking about for several weeks in like Hot and Streamy and stuff, where just talking about it, you want these good gaming experiences, but especially when people kind of feel like they've maxed things out or they've done everything they can in the game, then they just decide, I'm just going to ruin it for everybody else.
Yeah.
And so
I just don't get that mindset, though.
yeah.
Or they don't look for any
People
challenges.
suck.
Oh, well, there is that, yeah. It's disappointing that a developer has to step back from what they were planning to do to make this game better, because, Overwatch continues to be a game they support, and everything they put out is for free. Once you get past the initial purchase of the disc, boom. Everything we make is going to be available to you. That's disappointing that the developers had to pull back on new stuff, new characters, new skins, new maps, because they have to deal with jagweeds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So our plea to you, our faithful fan,
Don't
is
be a jagweed.
Don't be a jagweed.
Yeah.
This is a no jagweed zone,
if you're looking for
except me.
challenges, man, I'll tell you right now, if you really want to find something like to accomplish, go on YouTube. People throw challenges up all the time on every single game you can think of. What was I looking at yesterday? I was looking at stuff for GTA 5 because sometimes you just get bored just running the streets, keeping it real. And
As Matt Weaving knows how to do.
that's right. Yeah, I keep it real every day. But they're like, steal this many cars in this amount of time and take it to this guy, or do this stunt with this vehicle, or do this stunt, jump out of a helicopter upside down, all kinds of fun stuff you can do or try to do. And if you get more people involved in it, it's even funnier. So, there's plenty of things you can do. Don't be a jackwad.
I think I saw something and it was like, I want to say it might have been on one of the Halo games or something, but one of the challenges was trying to get to terrain or areas that you could see, but you weren't really physically supposed to be able to get to those places.
I've seen a lot of those videos, and they add a new element to a game that they've already beaten.
Yeah, oh yeah.
But the difference is they're not being assholes about it.
Yeah, true.
Right. So, Yeah, you can certainly find ways to occupy yourself, and instead of being a jagweed.
Well, until the new content comes out. I mean, it's not going to be forever. Like you said, they're constantly releasing stuff for Blizzard. And if you're not being a jagweed, guess what they have to do less of? Fix your garbage. They get to work on cool stuff.
Right.
I think Will Wheaton said it best. Don't be a...
Yeah.
Yep.
Or the SpongeBob version, don't be a jerk, it's Christmas.
Okay, I haven't seen that one.
That's pretty decent. I had to do it for the kids.
Yes, because we have a massive audience of children.
Not for these kids, for my kids.
Oh, all right.
I have a several voice repertoire for my own children, not for these people.
He has a captive audience with that baby now. He
Oh
gets
yeah,
to do
man! Everything
all
I
his
do is the
impressions.
greatest. It's the best thing she's ever heard because it's the only thing
He's
she's
thinking
heard.
about going on tour, like as an impressionist, because he's getting such great feedback at home.
Well, you're just going to set the baby in the front row and...
Oh yeah, I mean, literally everything I do, she goes, and I think that's great. I was like, oh, that must be applause for her. I can't clap her hands; that's too coordinated.
You'll plant that put that plant in the front row. Really set the hot audience.
That's right.
There you go.
That's right. That's what you got to do.
2 drink minimum
2 drink minimum.
for the baby. That's weird too.
Yeah, well, 2 bottles.
But what's in the bottle?
That's for me to know and you to find out later.
And child service.
And child services.
All right. We're going to finish up in Star Wars land. Not Star Wars land in Disney World, but just Star Wars topics.
Oh, we are currently.
I think
in
that's
line
something
for
you're going to
it.
hear a lot.
We're
of.
already lining up for the Millennium Falcon ride.
I just
right
think
now.
that's something you're going to hear a lot of. I'm going to finish up in Star Wars land.
I'm going to spend all my time in Star Wars land once it's open.
I'm actually going to. When I die, I'm going to be cremated. And
Oh, you're going to get somebody to dump your ashes?
Yep.
Sprinkled in.
They're going to Andy Dufresne you all over the
Yep.
yard?
And then they'll have to shut the entire thing down and bring out the hazmat crew. It'll be amazing. One last screw you from beyond the grave.
I'll take a handful of you and just shake you out in my leg.
Yeah, we'll take you in. We'll take you into the cantina.
There we
yeah.
go.
That's where you belong. Right, right up to the bar where you can order some blue milk or whatever you might have.
Only if it has alcohol will I order blue milk.
Jawa juice. I don't know.
Jawa juice.
Even if that does have alcohol in it, I am not ordering.
Can we get
it.
Christopher Walken? And you want some Jawa juice? I'm just saying. That's like a Travolta.
Okay,
Goodness sake.
so this was an article I posted on our Twitter, and I did it because I'm drawing some conclusions from this particular article, and I don't know if everybody is, and I want to know if I'm crazy. So this was from comicbook.com on September 12th, an article by Jamie Lovett. No relation to John Lovitz. I don't think so.
It stinks.
Billy Lord auditioned for Rey in Star Wars. So Billy Lord is the daughter of recently departed R.I.P. Carrie Fisher.
Our princess.
And she did end up getting a part in The Force Awakens alongside her mom as some sort of like a general or something with the Resistance. But she did audition initially for Rey. So here's the question. We all know that Rey's lineage is somewhat debatable here. No one knows who her parents are.
Ray's an alien. Oh, sorry.
And so
Bruce
she
Willis
is
was dead the entire time.
technically she is an alien. But to us anyway.
How do you know?
She wasn't born on Earth.
Yeah.
How do you know?
There is no Earth. Well, actually, there is. But this was way in the past, I guess. I don't know.
Even though their technology is far greater than ours.
Yeah. Anyway,
Reset button.
so is it possible? Because I have a feeling that the developers, the scriptwriters, J.J. Abrams himself, knew. They already know. They know whose Rey's parents are, right? So is it possible that this was kind of a, well, if she's going to be Leia and Han's daughter anyway, why not have Leia's real daughter come in and audition for the part? Is it a hint? And then they were like, I think probably they didn't do it. If that's the answer, if that really is who Rey was brought forth from, then they were like, this is a good idea, but it would be blatant, like there'd be no mystery.
Everybody would see it coming.
Yeah.
I think she's Snoke's daughter.
I mean, I guess it's definitely a possibility because even though she didn't get Rey, like you said, she still ended up in the movie. Mm-hmm. And I agree with you. If it turns out that Rey is the daughter of Han and Leia, I do think everybody would have been like, yeah. Okay, this is obvious. Like they would have figured it out like during episode 7. So.
But from what I can tell, what they say, at least in this article, is, of course, Daisy Ridley came in and knocked the audition out of the park, and they all knew, oh, this is Rey. This is who we want. And, I mean, she's amazing in the movie, but is that just
That would be
cover?
complicated with Kylo, though, because how old would he have to have been?
We tried to do this math at one point. We were doing some of this.
Because Kylo, he can't be more than 10 years older than her.
No.
He's
he
probably
wouldn't
not
be.
more than 5 years older than her, which means he would be aware of who she is.
Unless he went off to
Military
train with,
school?
No, he went off to train with Luke at
Sure.
a really young age. And, of course, Jedi training is supposed to begin when you're like 5.
But you wouldn't know your own sister. They wouldn't have mentioned it in a letter home. Hey, we got pregnant
not
again.
supposed to
You're going to
have-
be a brother.
As a Jedi, you're not supposed to have connections to anything.
Oh, Luke never.
I know Luke doesn't really believe
Yeah,
that.
that's what I'm saying. He was in that Obi school. In that Obi school, they don't give a crap about no tradition.
Yeah, they play fast and loose with the
That's
rules.
right.
Well,
Obi school.
I'm just saying, I don't know. Like, I think it's possible, but this kind of just, when I read that, I was like, that's very interesting.
It's been a minute since I've seen 7. Was there any ghosts in 7?
Force Ghosts?
Yeah.
No
No ghosty Obies?
Yeah, I was gonna say we got
Whose voice did we get?
Well, you got
Wasn't it Obi-Wan? and
Obi-Wan's
Yoda?
voice and Yoda.
Okay. But we don't get to see them.
No.
No ghosts.
I'm trying to think if there's any
The
other
Year
voices,
Without
but
Ghosts.
yeah, there aren't any Force Ghosts. that
I
you've
just,
seen.
I don't know.
At least we don't think so.
I don't know. At least we don't think so. And that's
Ray's been a ghost the whole time.
I told you Bruce Willis dead the
Dadgummit.
entire time.
Bruce Willis ends up in Star Wars. I will laugh till I hurt.
And he'll be John McClane.
Yes, he will. Yippee-ki-yay. Okay, we got it.
Yeah, but do.
Yeah, but he's got a new line.
Star Wars is going to become the Expendables. Bring them all in.
Bring 'em all in.
Arnold
go get
Schwarzenegger,
'em.
Stallone.
You know, you say that jokingly. I could see in like 20 years after the luster has worn off the Star Wars franchise, after Disney has literally put out 20 movies in 20 years, I could see a Star Wars Expendable movie working.
Or they bring in Battlestar Galactica.
Crossover.
Yeah.
Crossover. They just run into the ship
Or-
like, who are these people?
That's when we finally do the crossover with Star Trek, bring the worlds together.
Nope.
Let's do it.
This is where we finally get our second season of Firefly. 40 years after the fact.
I did throw up a
What'd you
thing.
eat?
Oh, I threw up. I was going to throw up. Somebody from Star Trek was, I don't know, was going to be in one of the Star Wars, but ended up didn't. I don't remember.
Simon
It's been so
Pegg.
long since 7.
Simon
That
Pegg
would be
was.
hilarious.
He is.
Is
He's
he?
in The Force Awakens.
Yeah.
Where?
He's the guy that like gives out the portions. Ray brings the trash, and he's like, "This is worth 1/2 portion."
And then tries to buy BB-8.
That's voice work.
Still counts.
I guess.
He was in the costume, literally in the
But you
costume.
don't
Practical
see him.
effects.
Like,
Yeah.
I want to see some peoples.
Okay,
I want to see some, pea stew in there, some freaking, some Janus Way, and
Peace, dude. You wanna
he
make
says
it-
that
Patrick
for
Stewart.
he says that for my purposes because I enjoy it.
he enjoys pea stew.
It's gross.
It is gross, but it's funny.
He wants the Picardy hard.
Oh,
All right, that's it. We're done. Good night.
Picardy hard, and that might be the episode title.
Picardy hard.
Yeah.
I'm way too sober for that title.
That's what I did on Star Trek Day. Is Picardy hard.
That's the only way to celebrate Star Trek Day.
Absolutely.
We have to come to the inevitable end of this podcast today, and we're ending it in the place where you knew we were going to get to, which is why it made it inevitable. That's what that meant. J.J. Abrams will be the director of your Star Wars Episode 9. He's coming back, y'all.
Yep.
Back again.
Guess who's back? Tell him again.
J.J. Abrams back.
Tell a friend.
Tell a friend. And, we kind of speculated initially when we heard the news that Trevorrow was gone that he could be a possibility. But I also referred to a statement he made saying he really just wanted to direct one Star Wars and then he was done.
And I think I even said at this point, it's like he's walked away from Star Trek too. He's just in like I'm gonna hit all my bucket list at this point.
Yeah. So, but apparently he's willing to come back and give it one last try. I like it. I have no problem with it. I love J.J. Abrams' work, and I feel I'm not one of the people who felt like The Force Awakens was just a fan service waste of time. Because, yes, while I feel like they hit a lot of the same notes as Star Wars A New Hope, I still feel like they were trying... This is what I really think. They were trying to get the audience back in, get the confidence from the audience, and say, look, we get it. We understand what you all love. We're on board with it, and now we're earning your trust so that we can take it and take the next step. And that's what The Force Awakens was doing, and I have a strong feeling that's what we're going to see when Episode 8 comes out, It's not just going to be a retread of Empire or anything we've already seen. It's going to be a totally different thing. And I don't think it was J.J. Abrams' choice to hit some of those notes. I think, as we've talked about, a lot of the creative influence comes from Kathleen Kennedy and the Lucasfilm people. So while he was probably a writer, I'm sure, I don't think it was his choice to do all of those things.
Yeah, I think we're finding out you're not necessarily allowed to think what you want to do. You're told what you're going to do when it comes to this Star Wars.
Yeah. They can certainly, I'm sure they're welcome to bring ideas, but then she's welcome to just say, nope.
Yeah. And if she doesn't like your idea enough, she will tell you to get the hell out.
Yeah, so. You bring enough bad ideas, you might just get your invitation to not return.
Yep. You think they have a train at Disneyland for firing people?
They just put them on. Let them take the Grand Circle tour of the Magic Kingdom.
They just gave me a ticket to the subclass train or whatever it is.
Where's the bye-bye monorail? I don't know.
The bye-bye monorail. It's underground, I promise you that.
Oh, get in, damn it.
Oh, get in.
Well,
here we go.
Well, not everybody's excited about this news.
Obviously.
I pulled up this article.
They don't want another Kelvin universe and another franchise.
Apparently, Star Wars fans are starting a petition to fire J.J. Abrams. Let me give you a little context. So this is apparently a quote from the petition. Most fans agree that Abrams' vision for Episode 7 resulted in a rehash of Star Wars Episode 4, A New Hope. There was virtually no creativity and no risk taken. Such complacency cannot be the trajectory of this sequel trilogy. More specifically, the metric for success in a Star Wars movie cannot be box office sales. Lucasfilm and Disney need to listen to fan criticism. Those are contradictory statements. Star Wars fans deserve better. They demand better. I agree with some of this sentiment, but at the same time, you can't say, don't just deliver fan service, listen to your fans.
Yeah. That's right.
What does that mean?
I don't know.
That doesn't make any sense.
We just talked about trolls.
and like... They haven't even started shooting this movie, and there's already a petition to get him gone? Mm-hmm. It's like, come on, guys. It's like, I understand, like, okay, we were all around for episodes 1 through 3. Questionable decisions were made, and I think that's being very, very generous. But at the same, it's like, and what they said, it's like, most Star Wars fans agree that episode 7 is just a no, shut up. That's what you think. That's what you and your friends. It's like Jay talked about, it's like, yeah, did it hit some of the same notes? It did. Is it the exact same story? No.
Yeah.
And it's just like, I understand internet.
The sales don't imply that.
Seriously.
Right, $2 billion.
It made all the money in the world when it came out. And it's just like, I understand internet's going to internet, but like, this seems way, way too early to get this idea in your head.
It's just people like, knee-jerk reaction, and I get it, man. You were thinking something different or whatever, but here's the thing. If he did a good job on 7, whether he was fan service or not, he still did what they wanted him to do, and why wouldn't you get the same guy to do it again? I mean...
Like you said, it's like, okay, I'll say in this argument, sure, it was fan service.
Sure.
Did you like the movie?
Bingo.
Yeah? Then shut up.
Who cares?
Exactly.
Who cares?
It's fun. Just enjoy the ride. And you know
Spoiler alert, they killed Han, so I'm pretty sure that wasn't a fan want.
Wait, what? No. And
what? Wait a minute. Hold on. I don't remember that.
That's okay.
Are you telling me that Han died in episode 7?
I don't know that he necessarily died. He departed this world in a different way than most did.
I thought we were talking about Die Hard and Hans Gruber.
It's same way. Actually, it did the same way.
True.
He did kind of die the same way.
Except he didn't. There was like nothing stabbed in him. He just kind of, oh no.
And Force Awakens is now the best Christmas movie of all time.
Absolutely. Look, he just wanted to go home and see his family.
Right. Well, and it's like, okay, you might not be the biggest Abrams fan of what he did with Star Trek, or Star Wars. I like the fact that there's, in theory, going to be some continuity from the guy that started the new trilogy. He's going to be the one that's going to end the new trilogy.
He knows what
I like that.
He knows the direction. I mean, granted, he's made some questionable things happen in Star Trek, and that's fine. I mean, they're not bad movies. It's changed things. So, but at the same time, they're still good movies, and I thought 7 was good. Mm-hmm. I mean, he knows end vision. He knows what the end game for this is. I'm willing to bet it, if not all of it, most of it. He has to.
Well, I would think him being brought back on to be a part of 9, they are going to let him know where it's going to end.
That's what I'm saying. And they probably gave him a pretty good idea of where they're going when he did 7.
Yeah, right. That's true.
Yeah, he would have had to know. So I was curious, and I wanted to come back and...
I'm counting on you.
Yeah, apparently. Matt is counting on me. I wanted to come back and find out, because one of the articles I was reading about this petition, it said at the time of them writing the article, there were only 11 supporters. It's up to 1,577.
That's nothing.
That's
really that's nothing in the scope of Star Wars fans. That's nothing.
Mm-mm. So that you're not really doing anything just yet, my friends.
I can't even use the expression "drop in the bucket" because I mean that's not even. That's nothing. That's a grain of sand in the beach. Mm-hmm. Is what that is. That's nothing.
So I mean, yeah, the headline's going to get out there that Star Wars fans want to replace J.J. Abrams. But when you go and actually look, it's like. Yeah, like 1,500 ding-dongs want to. Like
that's a good way to profile people.
Speak for the rest of us.
Yeah, it's like, how do I profile all the people I hate? This is how I do it. I start a fake petition, then I get your name.
So some people have given reasons that they signed the petition.
It's going to be good.
Should I call out these people by name? That'd be fun.
Can we get sued for it?
So this one is this individual who signed 2 days ago. Here's the quote. Jar Jar Abrams is an uncreative hack. He was also very anti-prequel with his PR. Get him the F out. Simon Pegg should also go F off and stay away from Star Wars.
What?
He pulled his stunt with fans of the prequels.
What?
Yeah, I don't...
This commenter figured out he thought that Jar Jar Abrams was the funniest thing he ever came up with, and he wrote that comment just so he could say
Jar Jar Abrams.
Just so he could say it. He's like,
he doesn't believe the crap he's
He
spewing.
is trying out his 5 minutes that he's going to go on stage with. And this is where you do it. He's like, I'm just going to sparse this over different platforms. Oh, a petition? I'll put it in there and see if I get a joke.
Is he going to be your opening act when you and your baby go on the road?
Absolutely.
Well, then I'll give you his name. That way you can find him on Facebook.
Oh, I'm sure he's easily identifiable.
Yeah. The other comments aren't as funny. That one's a good one. Jar Jar Abrams, my friends.
Here's the thing. Does it kind of indicate that he likes the prequels?
I think this is a fan
so
of the
he
prequels.
Insults the prequels at the first,
yeah.
But basically says that JJ didn't acknowledge the prequels.
And he
doesn't like that.
He accuses Simon Pegg of mocking the prequels. I don't really remember that happening.
He may have made a comment.
What?
I don't know.
I don't know what happened.
Like, back off from Simon Pegg.
I mean,
spaced.
Put down the beer.
I was about to say, do you think that was like a Star Trek reference he was trying to go after?
I don't know.
Where does this guy live? Because it's not reality.
Actually, I can tell you that person lives in the Dominican Republic. So,
okay,
go back to watching baseball.
That's right.
That feels racist.
They watch. A lot of baseball players come from the Dominican Republic. That's not racist. That's a fact. But yeah. So anyway, I will tell you the one impact that this has had so far. Not a good thing. Well, it's kind of a bad thing. They pushed back the release date for episode 9 to December.
I saw that.
Give them a little more time, which is fine.
So now you've got this one that comes out
in December of this year.
And then
Han Solo comes out in May.
And then
it's going to be a long wait to get to episode 9.
That's still one a year. It seems like all they've really done is moved around the date on the one-offs.
Yeah. Because they were trying to bump them back to where they all came out in May. I recently learned that apparently putting a movie out in December is a huge budget hit because advertising for movies and getting them out in December is so much more expensive.
Well, I heard January's Death Valley. So
I know it used to be that way, but I know here recently, at least in my group of friends, it seems like a lot of people. All right, it's Christmas Day. I'm gonna go down to the movies with my family. So it really seems like. Now I will agree with you. Back in the day, this would not be a good time of the year to drop a movie around Christmas, but it really does seem like that's becoming more and more of a thing after you spend time.
A lot of people do go to the movies at Christmas. I worked at a movie theater for 3 days. I know. It was at Christmas, and let me tell you, there was no stopping those people coming in.
So it's like, all right, if I still have to spend time with my family, I'm going to do it in a dark room for 3 hours.
Oh my gosh!
They can't talk to me.
How do I make this go faster? With a movie.
Yep.
You have an extensive film industry background. I'm surprised you struggle so much with names of people.
They're I don't know. They're like chewing gum, man. Once they get chewed up and the flavor's gone, spit them out because I don't give a crap about them, baby. That's the film industry for you.
Yeah.
Though, if I guess now episode 9 hits its release date, I'm kind of okay with Disney going, the Episode 7, Episode 8, Episode 9, like the big Star Wars continuing the story forward. I'm cool with that coming out around Christmas time every couple of years. Like that could be part of your Christmas tradition.
Yeah, that's true.
Christmas tradition.
I feel kind of silly even asking this question, but do you think that we're going to get a 10, 11, 12?
Yeah.
Do you think that's going to happen?
I do. I don't know when we're going to see it. I do think that they are really excited about doing these like standalone movies. Like you made reference to Han Solo coming. It's like
we're getting Boba Fett.
Yeah,
rumors are Obi-Wan's coming.
I think we're going to end up getting a lot of those like standalone movies before we get episodes 10, 11, 12. But
I think they'll keep status quo. I think that you'll get them in between them.
Really?
I think so.
They'd have to start developing.
It's a winning formula,
and maybe
man.
they already are, but they'd have to be in development now.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they can go anywhere. That the Clone Wars got addressed in cartoons, but they don't necessarily have to stick with what was done in there.
And the Clone Wars animated series was legit.
Was it done by Disney? It was done by Disney, right?
Yeah.
Was?
I think so. Well, no. I mean, it's
Is it
Lucasfilm.
canon?
It's yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
Clone
Clone Wars are
Wars
canon.
counts.
Of course, Rebels are canon.
Rebels counts. Rebels was Disney.
So
Clone Wars was
where
not.
could you
Clone Wars was Cartoon Network
Yeah.
from the people that did Dexter's Laboratory and
you're right.
Powderpuff Girls.
And here's the thing. I mean, after 9, you could give it a couple of years, and then Rey and them would be the new masters or whatever they do with their story. You know what I mean? You could keep going. There's no stopping this juggernaut.
No, absolutely not. I mean, Disney paid a lot of money for it, and by
Yeah,
God,
they did.
they're going to get every cent of
absolutely.
it.
And you know, to be honest, if Disney was really quote unquote listening to the fans of Star Wars, then let me predict what's going to happen in Episode 8. Rey's going to die, and they're going to be like, "Oh, actually, Poe was supposed to be the Jedi that takes over," and then Finn will have to go run Cloud City. Because Star Wars fans are racist and sexist.
I was about to say.
I'm really glad somebody else said it, not me.
This is the worst.
Get the woman out of here. God.
Yeah.
Girls are gross.
The funniest part of that was, I don't know, just the scene in my head was like, well, just go run Cloud City. That's what we need.
What are we going to do with this person? Let's send him to Cloud City.
Is Cloud
because
City even
that's
there?
where-
that's
Oh,
where
God.
the token
Black guy gets
African American
sent to,
guy. Yeah.
Is it even there?
One black guy in space.
Yeah.
I mean, they got 2.
Yeah. Yeah, they do.
In Star Wars, they got 2. I mean, is
Sorry.
it even there?
I'm alienating my own people.
What do you mean you're on?
Sometimes you got to call them out.
What do I mean by my people?
My people. I don't know.
They're
Yeah,
gonna
that's
get
true.
so
There was a
many
lot of
angry
people that were
letters.
just terrible about that. I liked
Well, it
Ray.
was
I
like-
thought it was a cool story. And
I think Ray's awesome.
Ray was awesome. She was one of the best parts, and it's like
I think I'm going to get tired of the montage unless they put like a Rocky music kind of style to it to her training. Then I'll be on board. But I personally think I'll get bored during that on this next one. And it's just because we've seen it, 100 times of. Unless there's like all kinds of like, ooh, did you know this?
My prediction for Episode 8 is a majority of that movie, Ray is going to be training with Luke.
Absolutely.
And it will not be featured. Like,
You don't
it's,
think so?
it's going to be
I think
happening.
I think it'll be front and center for a while.
I think we'll get, like you said, we'll get a training montage. It's going to happen. But it's funny because in Star Wars history, there's not really a precedent for montages. They didn't really do it with Luke and Yoda. There was a scene where he's running through
There's
the
a lot of
woods
cut
and he
scenes,
does
yeah.
flips. And it cuts to him doing stuff, but there's no montages.
With the Yoda puppet on his back.
Yeah.
Did they ever sell backpacks with a Yoda head
Yes.
hanging
They
out of
did,
it?
and I have
My
one.
God, did you? Did you run around and like watch out?
well, I mean, have you seen my body? I'm really not built for running.
I don't care
around.
who you are. I don't care how big you are, small or broken legs, whatever. If you have that backpack, you better be running through the neighborhood just for people to go, what's that on his back?
I did feel my midichlorians rise. I don't know if that had anything to do with it, or is
But-
that my cholesterol?
That's cholesterol.
But I really do think I think that they will establish that she's on Lock 2 or whatever the name of that place is, and we'll get to see some training. It'll cut to her in intense training. He's going to be lobbing those freaking porgs at her. She's going to be cutting them in half.
I was thinking, what if it was like Adam's
lightsaber.
Family where they're out there and they get on like one of the rocks and they get the porgs set out and they're just out there freaking golf teeing them out into the
Golf
water?
tee them out into the ocean.
Skeet shooting pole.
Yeah. She gets to try to do one of those, like in a lot of the Star Wars games where you're a Jedi, you have the ability to like throw your lightsaber boomerang style. Maybe we'll actually get to see her do that at the porgs. Like
That'd be cute.
that'd be cool. Yeah. But then I think a lot of it's going to focus on like what's going on with Poe and Finn and this new character, Rose, I think her name is.
McGowan?
And maybe we'll get more Captain Phasma in this one.
I definitely think we'll get more Phasma.
Now that's an outcry that I think does need to be answered. It was like this whole build up of that whole character. 10 seconds garbage chute.
Yep, they literally put her in the garbage.
Do they have a garbage chute?
Which, I mean, that was a fun line. It's
it was
like,
funny, but at the same time, I was like, wait, no, okay.
It's like she was cute.
She's not coming back. So, yeah, I definitely, if you're going to chrome that armor out, you better show this person. I mean, granted, she had more than 10 seconds, but I mean,
it was very limited.
I mean,
for as much as she was built up, it was very. It was very like Boba Fett. Like when we originally got Boba Fett, it was so limited in the original movie in Empire Strikes Back, and everybody thought he was the coolest thing ever.
Still do.
You only saw him for like 2 minutes.
Yeah, and then it gets jobbed out to a big giant hole in the ground
because his rocket pack malfunctions and he falls down a hole.
Such a badass.
Yeah, I mean,
that's not a good death for Boba Fett.
If he died.
Rumor is he didn't die.
I was going to say, because of his crappy death, there's a lot of people speculating. It's like in Star Wars lore, the Sarlacc pit takes like thousands of years to digest its food. So at some point, we're going to see Boba come ripping
He probably
ass out.
is like got some kind of laser, like, just saws through it and comes out.
That's what I'm thinking. He still has a jetpack. It's like, I mean, I would be burning the fuel in there. Be like, if you're going to hold me down, I'm going to give you heartburn.
Yeah.
Literally.
He's going to die of carbon dioxide poisoning.
He has that mask.
Oh, true.
Well, Boba Fett would be okay, but maybe he can carbon monoxide poison the Sarlacc.
Oh, true.
Yeah.
Breathe this.
And he's a clone, so who knows if they even breathe.
And then
See, that's another thing.
Oh, yeah.
They could bring him, I mean, instantaneously he could come back because...
That Boba might have been a clone.
Yeah, true. I would never send myself. I would send a proxy. I mean, it'd be the Padme experiment all over again.
Yeah, exactly.
He Padme'd you, dude.
Let them be meat shields.
You've fallen in love with a clone.
Bad theory.
I'm telling you. I've got all kinds today. Full of theories.
Full of theories. I will say this. Like Rogue One and stuff, they have all these locales that have all this lore that they could do anything with. I mean, in Rogue One, they went to that city that she grew up on, and it was like what was left of it. They were getting the kyber crystals out of it. Mm-hmm. And it was like some kind of temple for the Jedis and stuff like that. I mean, I know that's
been... Jeddah.
Jeddah
was the name of the place.
Oh.
That feels a little bit too on the nose.
No, but really, I mean, the name of the planet, wasn't it Jeddah?
Sure.
I'm going to look it up.
Sure.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Say it again.
But, I don't know. There was so much with that. And I guess Old Republic has addressed a lot of these places, like way, 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 way back. Mm-hmm. So, I don't know. A lot of people scream for Old Republic. Like, they want movies of Old Republic.
Can I throw a hand up in the air?
Sure
or better yet, can I just get a third actual version of KOTOR? like, okay, I'm really glad, BioWare, that you decided to make an MMO because those are so profitable anymore.
Yeah.
Give me KOTOR 3. It's not that hard. And more Mass Effect. God.
He's fired up now.
That's right.
And Butch. No.
And Far Butch.
They, I don't know.
They're going to have a lot of editing.
They'll probably...
I apologize.
They're probably going to, I don't know. I'm trying to think of the next three movies, what they could do. I mean, you could go back that far, or you're going to have to pick a timeline that's unexplored. Unless you continue on, and I don't know.
Yes. So
Isn't that kind of what they did with Rogue One? I mean,
That's what I'm saying. I don't know that they can dip into any other kind of areas because all these one-offs are these unexplored areas where you got this continuation of this family, and I guess the Skywalker family is out, we think. So, I don't know.
So, by the way, my Star Wars card is still in my hand because Jeddah is the planet that they went to.
Is it spelled like the car?
Where they had the the rundown
Jetta?
monastery, and they were getting the kyber crystals.
Oh.
Good job, nerd.
Thanks. I'm still seated firmly in my Star Wars nerddom.
I wish I knew more cars that were made by VW. I would have said some more names, but sorry.
It's not a Jetta. Jeddah.
Oh, Jeddah.
But it is
Jeddah
on the
the Hutt.
nose because people who worship that power
Are Jedis.
are Jedi.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, that's what I'm saying. And wherever Luke was hiding at was obviously some old temple or something like that. Mm-hmm. Some old dusty bones in there.
That's on lock 2, and I still don't know if I'm saying that
It's on
right.
lockdown.
He's got it on lockdown. Yeah.
It took her a minute to find it. The boot up R2.
I'm sorry, what?
Boot up R2.
Oh, okay. All right.
I said R2.
No, I was more curious that noise you made.
That's what he did. He goes.
What, R2 turns on and he turns into the redneck from South Park?
I thought you were going to say he was a chicken. They had to, get Windows 3.5 to boot up on him.
Oh yeah,
Welcome.
he's running Windows 95.
He's got AOL internet. And
Well, I think that'll be a good place for us to stop today. A thoughtful place as we think about all of our futures, but also the future of Star Wars and where we're headed. And I think we're in a good place with J.J. Abrams. Mm-hmm. That's where I stand.
I mean, from the outside, I really don't see it as
you
a problem.
Don't care.
He's already done what he's done to Star Trek. So enjoy your cake. It's delicious.
Man, we can feel the sincerity drip off of it.
I mean, I don't have a problem with the Kelvin universe. It just makes things hard now because it's like, is it Kelvin or Prime? Is it Kelvin or Prime? And people want to lean on Kelvin because that's what the new generation of fans have seen. So,
do you think it's eventually going to get to where the point Star Wars was, where Disney had to step in and be like, this is what is canon. Everything else is just old universe.
I would love for a big business property to buy this property and like get CBS off that freaking whatever they're doing in Paramount. Either Paramount buy it all or CBS buy it all. Please don't let me be CBS. But somebody buy it all and keep it together, because that's the problem we have is we have TV rights and we have movie rights.
Yeah, I could see that getting a little bit confusing.
Yeah, and it's terrible because it's everybody. There's no Kathleen to say, what are you doing?
You need a Kathleen.
What are you doing?
And I mean, that's the thing. It's like, I mean, we might have bagged on her, or me specifically, being a little bit, rules with an iron fist. But when you have a $1 billion property, you need somebody like
Keeps it
Oh,
canon.
yeah. I don't have any problem with the way she's doing things. Of course, I'm not trying to direct one of their movies either.
But at the same time, it can kill a franchise. I mean, think about it. If Marvel had that person in there, it's like, this is what is real.
Well,
all your comic book is crap.
But Kevin Feige's really the guy that does that, right?
But
he's
there's a
he's
lot of
kind of
stuff
like
that-
maintaining the
Sure,
order.
but they're not saying this isn't canon, this is canon kind of thing. I mean, Star Wars went in there and they're like, you're out, you're out, you're
Oh,
in,
yeah,
you're
yeah.
out,
No,
you're out.
no,
You know
because
what I'm
you
saying?
couldn't do that with
you
comics.
You couldn't do that. That's what I'm saying. So on the opposite side of the tracks,
Yeah.
what we really do, another thing that we really do love, we don't need that.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Yep.
I do like that Kathleen, if that's truly the person, behind the curtain that's keeping it all straight and together. I think it's the best thing for them.
Yeah.
Because there's so much out there.
And
so
there's so much money to be made for everybody.
Well, anybody could write a book. Anybody can make a comic book. Anybody can do these things. And before it became canon, then, they said, Han Solo is half an android. And that's, that's who he really is. That's why he's such a good pilot, and they're like, that's not cool. That's not what we were envisioning. Well, I wrote a book, and that's what it says. Sorry. Well, now you've got, I don't give a crap what you wrote. Shove it up your butt.
and I mean, it's not just books; it's video games.
That's what I'm saying. Anything, but a lot of people are pissed that Old Republic is out.
I'm one of them.
It sucks, man, because there's a lot of lore but there might be a reason for that. That may be where your other next 3 movies are coming from. They're going to go way back.
I'd be cool if they told the Darth Revan story.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. Like, there's a lot of gray Jedis and all kinds of craziness that go on in Old Republic, and I only know a granular bit of it. So.
Well, Landon, anything you wanted to hit on before we wrap up today?
Real quick, if you're a horror movie fan like myself.
I like horror movies.
You like horror
movies? Yes, as we established last week. We love horror movies.
Horror movies.
Jamie Lee Curtis is returning one more time to do a Halloween movie.
Wait, didn't she get blasted in the face in one of them? Or didn't he kill her?
I know she looks like
before.
that. But...
No,
sorry.
That's leave Jamie Lee Curtis.
That's
alone.
the Activa really taken out, man. It's really sucking the life out of her.
I can't remember what
I have an Activa story
where she landed in her last appearance in Halloween, but obviously
I think before it got rebooted by Rob Zombie, I think she got killed. Oh. I think her character was killed.
Well, in a franchise where the villain gets killed off at the end of every episode or movie, it's cool.
That's literally the only thing we haven't done with that franchise is have her as Michael Myers.
I think the last. Oh, wow. Yeah,
that would be an interesting.
Like she just loses it. The mental disease that he had finally takes hold on her, and she's like, you know what? I do hate a lot of people that are younger.
That would be an interesting way to wrap up the Halloween franchise.
You're welcome.
Wow. Yeah, Hollywood, take note. But yeah, I think that's cool. I don't believe we have a release date or a title.
I actually didn't know another one was coming.
Yeah, so I think it's cool.
Yeah, I'm cool with it. The last Halloween movie I saw in the theater was H2O. Do you remember that one?
I do remember H2O.
Busta Rhymes.
Yeah.
I watched H2O. Here's the sad thing about H2O. I think I've seen it more than the other ones because it was always on for a while.
They did put it on all the time.
And every time I went over to somebody's house, they were watching it. I'm like, oh, H2O. The part I remember is him coming down on that pipe, one-armed, and I'm like, the first time I saw it, I was like, that's stupid. That's so stupid. Michael Myers was never sneaky.
No.
Right.
The only thing I remember from HBO or H2O is,
Same thing.
Yeah, it really is. Is the scene where Busta tries to fight Mike Myers in a machete fight. Neat.
Oh yeah, he tries to fist fight him.
Mm-hmm. Like,
Yeah,
all right, here we go. I learned this move watching the Wu-Tang Clan video.
Yeah.
That was before Busta Rhymes got jacked. He could probably take Mike Myers now. Have you seen him lately?
He's big.
Yeah.
He's huge.
He's huge.
Good
Him
on you,
and
Busta.
Flo Rida should just start a tag team.
Yeah.
I haven't seen Flo Rida.
Oh, you need to see Flo Rida. He is huge.
Yeah.
Can't we just call him Florida?
Nope. What? Do you want to be called Florida?
Well, I'm not the one that named myself Flo Space Rida.
Look, everybody needs a gimmick.
Yeah, that's true.
Do you want to be 10 Essie?
10 Essie.
Not after yesterday.
You could be Nash Beal.
Again, not after yesterday. Man, it's a really big bummer. Vanderbilt has the best college football team in the entire state of Tennessee.
I don't even want to talk.
Time to
Anyway,
move.
so if you want to check out any of the headlines we talked about today, you can do that on our Twitter account. We have liked, retweeted, quoted, all kinds of stuff, and you can go see them for yourself. And that's at nerd_news_cafe. If you want to interact with us, you can do so in other places as well. I would say Facebook is a good option. We also have a website, nerdnewscafe.com. We have a forum that you can get to from nerdnewscafe.com, and you can send us emails, nerdnewscafe@gmail.com. And if none of those things work for you, then sorry.
Paper airplane.
Yeah.
Put it in the wind.
Yep.
Oh, you could do like we did in elementary school, and you write a little note and you attach it to a balloon and hope for the
a
best.
balloon.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah.
do that. Smoke signals, maybe. I don't know.
Or send it to our P.O. box. But first, establish us a P.O. box.
Yeah,
Then
absolutely.
send it to us.
We'd appreciate a P.O. box by
Yes.
someone else.
Mhm, yes.
We
Matt,
need some vetting.
You want to plug anything before we wrap up?
I will plug Tracking Trek podcast. If you guys are interested in the Star Trek Discovery show that is coming up in 2 weeks, no, a little under 2 weeks, maybe.
Wait, I
now.
thought it was next
next
week.
week.
Next week. Sorry,
Yeah.
I'm so behind.
Don't miss it.
I
You're
will
gonna
not miss it. Well, I can pay my $6 and stream the piss out of it. But yeah, if you guys are interested in that coming out, it looks really interesting. Me and my buddy Thomas are doing a podcast where we review it and go over it. This next episode, the last episode, we went over the last trailer that's released. This next episode, before the show starts, we're going to make predictions on the first episode and what's going to happen, what's going on, who dies, kind of a Walking Dead-esque thing, seeing how Walking Dead green's on there. But if you guys want to jump on that, it is Tracking Trek Podcast, and you can hit the Twitter up at Tracking Trek Pod.
Cool. Landon?
Twitter.com/Landoz, LANDOZ. That is where you can find the latest musings that come out of my mouth and I guess my brain since it's online. And also where I post the latest of whatever me and my buddy Hunter East end up deciding to do. We have wrapped up recently Season 1 of Season 7 of HBO's award-winning Game of Thrones. It's really confusing. Regardless, we're in hiatus. We have 7 episodes up breaking down the past season of Game of Thrones. It's called Game of Thrones Talk, a.k.a. Got Talk, found exclusively at buttmunchchips.com. Buttmunch Chips, sit on your butt and munch.
You know, we could start doing like a call and response kind of thing. If you want to do that with your tagline for "Sit on your butt and munch," because you could just. I always want to jump in on that. So if you just want to be like "Sit on your butt," I'll be like "and munch."
Okay, that's fine.
Nice.
The Butt Munch Chips family is all inclusive.
Everybody's
We also accept PayPal.
All right. Well, that'll wrap up the Tuesday episode. Come back Thursday for Stir It Up. We're going to be talking some fantasy casting for the future Nightwing, as yet uncasted. So maybe they'll take our advice.
Hopefully, our fantasy decisions for this will be much better than our fantasy decisions for all of our fantasy football teams.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
So we'll do some comic book corner. We're going to do some hot and streamy, and then we'll have a no pants poll this week. So come back, be part of that, and until next time.
Ian transmission.